Hello, my name's Julia Street, and I am so proud to have been listed as one of the 100 Game Changers by LGBT Great. I feel like I keep the most incredible company. Do please check out the other 99 because they are all amazing people, and I'm very, very flattered. And it's really interesting because I was reflecting on this morning and thinking, when I started Diversity Podcast, I really felt that my job as the host was to bring guests on to hear their stories, never really to talk about my identity, my story, my journey. And it was when I did the first episode, the first LGBT episode, both the guests almost in the same moment looked at me and said, why do you not step up as a more prominent role model? And it really stuck with me. And it's sort of something that while I've been interviewing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of guests on the show over the, where are we now, 13 series we've just closed out, and also listening to the feedback from the listeners in more than 50 countries, this is absolutely true. If you can see it, you can be it. And this comes up over and over and over again. And enlightened leaders really get this joke about diversity, equity, and inclusion, because leadership really matters. When we think about the pathway that we are navigating currently through these extraordinary times, enlightened leaders are having to think very differently. And the ones that are putting diversity, equity, and inclusion at the heart, not only of their talent strategies, but most importantly, their commercial strategies, they're the ones that we're seeing gain the edge. They're bringing out better products and smarter operations, and they're really getting the commercial gains that are on offer. And by the way, all the data will completely support. And we know that culture matters. We know that organizational practices where you put DE&I at the heart, soul, and center of organizations really take advantage. And it is amazing how the world has changed. It has changed so much in the last 3, 5, 7 years. But I think also we mustn't forget that homophobia exists, transphobia exists, and it is real. And I think particularly of organizational responsibility for employees around the world, and particularly those living in perhaps less accepting societies. We should always be asking ourselves what happens to people when they leave our workspaces, whether that is physically or digitally. And I'm also really quite deeply concerned by some of the risks we face of heading backwards. And I think particularly there about trans rights in the US as well. So these are incredible times, and I really just want to take a minute to acknowledge something else that I feel very deeply as I was reflecting on this morning, which is I feel that we all, and I particularly, stand on the shoulders of amazing people. People who have had the courage and the pride to live their lives in the world of financial services as how they identify, but also acknowledging those who have been less happy to do that, perhaps scared or concerned, or felt that their careers would be curtailed at the risk of identifying themselves as they would prefer. So I do feel that we've come a long way, but I still feel like we have a long way to go. And that's why initiatives like LGBT Great really, really matter. So I encourage you to support them in the work that they are doing. And again, I'm really humbled and just very honored to have been listed in the 100 Game Changers. So thank you very much.